Hi everyone, it's Rachel from the Preschool Development Centre, and today I'm going to give you some really nice lessons on Easter for your preschool classroom. First up, we have an absolute classic with an Easter twist. We're going to do rainbow rice, and we're going to add in some plastic eggs. The eggs I use are like this, they're crackable ones, and when we add in our rainbow rice, they make really good shakers, and they can pour them from one to the other. Normally I would add in some spoons and maybe a jug as well, depending on the kids, but just these on their own are perfect. I got a pack of 10 for about €1, so you can grab them anywhere around this time and they keep really well. I've had these ones for a couple of years now. Speaking of keeping really well, I have my rainbow rice. This stuff lasts months, if not years, if it doesn't get grubby. So I don't have any yellow in this one, and when I'm doing my Easter rice I normally would make a bit of yellow, but I can't find yellow food colouring anywhere, so we don't have it. It's always really important to just work with what you have. If you don't want to run out to the shop but you have a few food colourings there, just use what you have, use it up, and once you have a couple of colours it's going to look really pretty. To make the rainbow rice, we are going to add a cup of plain white rice into a bowl with 2 or 3 drops of food colouring. Just mix it up really well and leave it to dry overnight, and then add it into the sensory box. It's as simple as that. If you want to just focus on 1 or 2 colours, maybe you like doing a colour of the week in your classroom, you could just do maybe a yellow or a pink, but I'd keep it pastel so that everything in your room looks really cohesive. The rainbow rice sensory box works really well for refining fine motor movements, and you can differentiate it a bit further by adding tweezers or even using the rainbow rice to make some Easter cards. Next up, we have our Easter science experiment, and this one is always really fun. It's the naked egg experiment. So you're going to need an egg, a glass clear jug, and some vinegar. The acid in the vinegar is going to remove the calcium carbonate from the eggshell and make the egg clear. It also makes the egg a little bit bouncy. It won't be bouncy enough for you to throw it across the room, but it will be bouncy enough for the children to be able to hold the clear egg and inspect it. So to do our naked egg experiment, we're just going to place an egg into the glass container, and we're going to fill it up with about 500 ml of vinegar. White vinegar works best because obviously you can see everything happening. You need to leave the egg in the vinegar overnight, but during the day when you first do the experiment, the children will see bubbles forming the egg. That is the calcium carbonate starting to come away from the shell. You can talk about how the yolk and the egg white are still there because they don't have any calcium carbonate in them. And if you are going to let them bounce it, because it is quite rubbery, just make sure you have something to mop up in case it bursts. Next up, we have another favourite, another absolute classic. We are going to do potato stamping. So potatoes are the perfect shape obviously for Easter. We're going to cut them in half and we can make a little design in the middle. So when you cut it in half, you can make zigzags and remove the zigzag, or you can just remove maybe a centre section and get the children to paint them. I have seen a lot of these going around Instagram and Facebook, and it's really obvious that they weren't done by preschool children. And I don't mean the stamps, I mean that most likely preschool children between the ages of 3 and 5 who are going to be doing this aren't going to be doing beautiful intricate stripes and colours. You know, they're going to mess with it, and they should absolutely be allowed to mess with it. So make sure that no one is doing this activity for them. This is their art, their creation, and we want to be process orientated and not outcome orientated, even when it's making cards. For smaller children, instead of using a brush to paint onto the potato, you can simply dip the potatoes into a bowl or a plate of paint and get them to paint it that way. You can also cut the potatoes into any shape that you like. You can make this work again and again, and it is really fun. And especially if you're growing potatoes, you can use them for something other than eating and really utilize them. Or even better, if you have potatoes that are sprouting that you don't want to eat, just chop off the sprouts and make your potato stampers that way. So that's it for my favorite Easter lesson. I know that this one is a little bit out of sync with the other curriculum videos that I've done, but as most of you know if you follow me on Facebook or Instagram, that I have 2 small kids and things sometimes get out of whack, especially when I'm working by myself. But luckily I've been able to hire some help with the Preschool Development Centre. We have new people coming in to make classes and make resources, so it's really exciting. So keep an eye on the social media accounts for really good things coming up. I have an after school book coming out before September, I have yoga courses, how to become a kid's yoga teacher. That's really exciting. And I have a sensory bin book, which is going to be 52 sensory ideas for your classroom. That's going to be a printable PDF, and that's going to be available really, really soon. So check out preschooldevelopmentcentre.com and see if we can help you with anything. We're here to make your life a little bit easier and make sure that you're keeping a really good work-life balance. I will see you again the next time. Bye.